Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Today, we're gonna discuss the concept of healthy and unhealthy from the spiral dynamic theory. So, for me, healthy and unhealthy was a deepest understanding of the theory. Let's say in the beginning, spiral dynamic was a very nice history lesson or a way to understand political views. But when I got engaged more and more, and I start to read more of more articles, more books, and really practice spiral dynamic, I found out that a healthy concept, when you try to understand it and use it in your life, is pretty radical. A conflicting with everything we've been educated with. You never hear in the news the concept healthy. You never see it with politicians. You never talk to people like that because most people see the world in good and bad, positive and negative, right and wrong. And healthy is totally different. Uh, so today we will try to understand what Grace, Beck, and others explain about healthy. Why did it get some rejections from university? And how we can develop our own healthy perspective, which is not always easy. So first, actually, because we are late, I hope we'll have time for the task, but choose one unhealthy organization or political party or business company, group, NGO, whatever that you know that you think is unhealthy. You can write it down. And during the presentation, when we are speaking about different concepts of healthy, you can check out why exactly this is unhealthy and if you can find different perspective about this group. So what is healthy from spiral dynamic perspective? How to develop healthy perspective and tools to overcome our mind and emotion traps. We do have emotion traps and thinking pattern and biases that sometimes make us resist to what the reality of healthy is. Of course, it's again perspective, and what I'm presenting is my perspective according to what I understand. And it's okay if somebody have different perspectives. I'm trying to follow much as I can what Graves and Beck said about healthy. So we're gonna use a lot of AI voice because my English is not perfect, and there are already recording. Whenever you see this icon, you will hear the voice. This is Don Beck.
Healthy development is about finding a functional fit between life conditions and mind capacities.
Because this is a basic principle. We have life condition and we have mind capacity, which can be also values, belief systems, behavior patterns. And if they are fitting the challenges that we have in our life, we might say it healthy. But life is always on a move. So whenever we are attached to different pattern, life condition change, we need to change and to adapt. So it's difficult for humans to do.
Healthy and spiral dynamics means adapting to changes with minimal resistance or disruption, allowing for smooth transitions and sustainable growth.
So in the slide before, we understood that this is about fitting our values to cope with life condition. But because they're changing all the time and we need to change our values all the time, healthy is not just changing, it's changing this minimum resistance. I call it smooth. Healthy involves smooth adaptation and change. Because if you look at history from spiral dynamic perspective, you know that culture eventually do adapt, but they can adapt after conflict and war and resistance, or they can adapt very smoothly. So healthy is referred to when we are doing it smooth with less conflict. And from the psychology point of view, probably the hardest thing for human being is to change. So healthy is something that we have to give respect. It's not something easy to do. It's not something easy to go over the resistance and keep adapting all the time. And we have to be compassionate for ourselves and others when we are in the process of adapting. This is part of the healthy. Now we give one example of Frederick the Great, King of Prussia in the 18th century. And he was in a situation where Prussia were a weak kingdom back then. At this time, other countries like England and France and Spain already have a colony. They become very rich with great army. And Prussia, all they had is agriculture. And he was losing the battle and people were starving. Frederick the Great was in a situation where he was losing the war. For hundreds of years, the agriculture in this country was wheat and rye. And when the war started, the weapon of the enemy was to burn field, to burn the wheat. And the population was under starvation. And basically the economy and the army couldn't resist anymore to the attack from Russia and from Austria. And Frederick the Great, which was his amazing figure, we not have time to talk about it today. He was master of change. He understand that the potatoes that just came out from South America is a great agriculture that can save the country, because the potato grow underground and the enemy cannot burn it, and it will solve the hunger problem and give the power to the army and will save Prussia. So he manifests an order for everybody to grow potatoes, and the peasants told him, we are not growing it. This is a disgusting food that we won't give even to our pigs. So he was angry. So he said, I will punish you if you don't grow potatoes. He even threatened to cut the ear of those who will not follow his order. But Frederick the Great was a very logic king, and his threats weren't very frightened, and nobody grows a potato. And he was keeping losing. So what Frederick do, he asked all the nobles at their big castles and at his home to grow potato field, to put guards around the potato field. In the same time, he asked all the cooks of the nobility to cook delicious cook from potatoes and serve it only to the most royal people. So what happened is that other people saw that the king is growing his potato and eating delicious food, and there is guards that saving the field. They start sneaking and stealing potato from the kingdom fields. And Frederick the Great was smart, and he told the guards, let them steal it. Don't make yourself like you are guarding, but let them steal it. And they store it and they start to use it. And they heard the stories about the delicious dishes that the nobles eat. And in 2 years or something, all the agriculture in Prussia changed to potato. And the famine stopped, the army became stronger. He built another 1,000 fields, another 1,000 villages, another 100 kilometers of water tunnels, and Prussia became such a strong country. And he did a lot of other things. But first of all, he didn't lose a war. Prussia became very important kingdom, and it's all because of adapting the agriculture and some other changes he did. So this is a very nice comparison for how Prussia or Germany transferred from blue to orange, accepted science, accepted logic, and do innovation things. While if you compare it to the French Revolution or American Revolution, it was not smooth. It was with a lot of resistance and wars on the way. So this is one example of healthy. In spiral dynamic, if we want ourselves to adapt healthy change or to assist others, what Graves found that there are 3 states of mind capacity. One is open, arrested, and closed. Open is when new solution, new ideas, new value, new system, anything new that needed to be adapted. Society or persons that have an open state allow this to enter, to flow, and they are changing very smoothly. If they are closed, usually they resist, they're fighting with the change, and they are locked inside their old values. Arrested is something in between. It might be a society that said, maybe we'll change after we will see that everybody else agree for this. Or maybe we will change if we try everything and it works, then we'll change. It's something a bit hesitating. And what Graves said that the healthy adaptation is almost not possible in closed. So if a society or a person is in closed state, it's a waste of time to help him, to assist him, to show him that it's really good for him to adapt and change. And at this stage, it's better first to assist him to get safety, to open, to arrested, open, and then to adapt change. Let's hear now some more pieces of the puzzle, what Graves say about healthy. This is where it become a bit challenging.
The error which most people make when they think about human values is that they assume the nature of man is fixed, and there is a single set of human values by which he should live. Such an assumption does not fit with my research.
We have to understand that this quote is a reaction for a discussion in a university about ethic. I hope my English say it okay, ethics. And as this discussion goes thousands of years from Socrates' time, what is the nature of man, what is good for man, and to say that there is not such one natural fixed nature is it's pretty let's say it's take courage to say it, because so many cultures, so many universities are so into values of do good, this is bad. And when Graves say it creates a big resistance. Also, when he says the next sentence, it's even grow up.
There is no fixed good or bad, but rather behavior should be based on the current understanding and evidence available.
Okay, there is no good and bad. So war is good or bad? War can be good, or what about dictatorship? What about racism? So many university and other scholars quite resist to spiral dynamic, partly because of this. And when we think about it, it's also hard for everyone to accept it, because what it says is that any value, which means that any society, even the ones that we know that create damage, have in their values something that is healthy. Maybe it's not good. We can say that we think the war is bad, but this is our perspective. Other society might think differently. And to understand that they have a healthy logic when they choose to do those behavior, it's something that it's hard for us to get. And soon we will show why. I wrote it down here: duality mind and society memes. But before that, let's bring another piece in. This is from the book Spiral Dynamic.
Memes express both healthy and unhealthy qualities. Memes themselves are neither good nor bad, healthy nor unhealthy, positive nor negative. For example, the same meme that produces Navajo mysticism, Aboriginal dream travels, or Walt Disney-inspired fantasy trips can also be cursed by superstitions or influenced to drink Jim Jones's suicidal purple Kool-Aid in Guyana. The meme that liberates the imagination and dedication of millions on behalf of noble causes and brings ordered purpose to their lives may lock others into militant, fanatical, holy warfare, and ethnic terrorism.
Yeah, so memes express both healthy and unhealthy. So that means that all memes express healthy? Why is it difficult to agree? We are very used to criticize others because of their values, because of their way of thinking, because of their behaving. But spiral dynamic come and say the value is not the problem. Those values do have healthy in all of them. We can learn something from them. The expression of them is what is bad. So instead of attacking the people or the society or their values, even the values that create wars and races and all the other things that we are automatically resist to, the values themselves have something healthy. And the expression factor is what we are maybe complaining about. And even if we are complaining about it, maybe it's because we don't know what is to live in this life condition. Maybe in other life condition, this expression can be healthy. So it's open us to the opportunity that we are not judging fairly others. Maybe we need to look deeper into the logic of their values. Another one from the book.
Healthy memes are those that allow or even facilitate the positive expression of other memes on the evolving spiral, even though they may be in competition for influence.
It's continuing my last sentence. So we are judging them, but part of being healthy is the ability to even, instead of fighting the others, is to find a way to live with them, even those that compete with us. It's the point where if we are not following our automatic emotion and thinking, we might be collaborating with other memes. So there is a inspired dynamic. It comes from the from the qualities of a spiral wizard, which is acceptance of diversities. I just wrote it so we can remember. We can find healthy in other, accept it, learn from it, complete one another, and it will be healthy. And all our life, all the society we've grown, we've been conditioned to think that the normal reaction is to fight for our side and not to accept. We need to criticize. Sometimes we demonize others. And healthy take to do something that is we are not used to, which is trying to live together with others. And it's not easy. Why it's not easy? This is a question I'm asking. How to find healthy in all society, in all means? Where is it healthy? Why we are not always seeing it? And in order to develop a healthy perspective, there are some natural things that every one of us, every human being, is trapping. There is mind trap. The fourth of this is our biology issue, which is duality mind. Duality mind is what make us understand concept. In order to understand concept, we need polarize. It's hard for us to understand good without bad, right without wrong, even hot for cold. Our body can know the difference, but our mind needs a relativity. So when we see different values, we automatically do this polarizing. The reason we have duality mind is because our mind needs a lot of energy. And in order to save energy, this is really in evolution biology, our mind doing many shortcuts, which in psychology we call them heuristic and biases. And when you start to be aware of duality mind, of heuristic bias and biases, it's easy to stop believing what your mind is telling you. You really start to see that the way we look at the world in automatic way is not the reality. And if we will use just parallel dynamic method, it won't be enough to develop a healthy perspective. We need another method to work together in order to calm this mind trap. Other trap is a society norm. We are very afraid to think other, to be unpopular and not loved. And every creature want to avoid pain and crave pleasure, so we have serving bias. We are sure that we are true. We are sure that we are right, but sometimes we are do it just because of our ego, because we are fear of pain, and those all traps that limit us from seeing or watching from healthy perspective. I need some water. So my perspective, and I think it's not only mine, that spiral dynamic is not enough. In order to develop healthy perspective, we need to become aware how our mind work, our other mind work, and over it. And I call this technique or this philosophy, non-duality, or Zen Buddhism. But you can call it in 100 similar passes, and you can learn it from and practice it in 100 different ways, which is many people doing it as a path for enlightenment, for awakening, for love, truth. But if you are practicing in order to combine it with spiral dynamic, which I think is necessary, the reason is not to be enlightened. It's good to do. It's good if you attractive to it. But I think we need to do it because we need to silence our mind, because it's all the time reacting fast and incorrect. We have to learn the nature of our mind to react later. We have to stop the attachment, to not believe our mind or our society in order to see others. The attachment to our body and mind is causing us fear of losing it, fear of death, fear of losing something. So if we want to overcome the fear, at least in our thinking pattern, and go into a flow state, and when we are practicing all those techniques, it's improve our creativity, our eureka moment. Like if you want to make people grow potato, you need a lot of creativity. And now there is a video that explain very good, not from the mystic or the spiritual way, but also from the scientist way, why those things are so helpful. But if it's hard for you to practice or learn from something that is too spiritual, you can also learn it from science, like psychology, like system engineering, philosophy, and more. There is a very nice series in National Geographic, brain games, that teach you all the heuristics and how our mind works and why we can trust it. There's a book of that won the Nobel Prize of Daniel Kahneman, Think Fast, Think Slow. It's really cover most of the heuristics of the bias that we develop in a very similar way to Graves. Another trap we have is the fear, the emotion. And Graves speak about it a lot. Here is one quote of him.
When I studied the quality of the solutions that they found to a problem, they were far and away superior to the solutions of problems that were found by other people. Well, the more and more I looked at it, what I saw was that people were not afraid. They found more solutions because they weren't afraid to try more solutions. They weren't stopped by, well, you shouldn't, or that's not the right way to think, or you'll get in trouble if you think that way. And they found better solutions because apparently there was more brain power brought to bear in their thinking than you had in others.
So we really speak about how when less fear, you have more brain power, which the scientific study about the energy in our mind is proven. And I just want to notice that when we speak about fear and tension here and now is really good for our healthy evolution. It's give us signs that it's time to change. When we speak about unhealthy fear, as when we fear from past trauma, and then we hold into our old values, or we are afraid of different futures. So I also believe that spiral dynamic doesn't teach us enough how to overcome emotion traps. And I want to point two techniques. Personally, I tried in 20 years, maybe 100 different techniques. This technique I'm recommending not because I'm practicing it, it's because most of the, I don't know if most, because nobody really counted, but all the people that study and practice spiral dynamic organization advisory in the Netherlands, in German, at least everyone that I know, use nonviolent communication together with spiral dynamic. And I have a video here which we want to see about Marshall Rosenberg explaining, and I think it's really helpful to at least to watch one video to understand how to talk with others, speaking from different worldviews. The second work is a work of Katie Byron, and I don't know if you heard, she's pretty famous in the US. I know she was in many TV shows and in the media. And the reason I recommending it from, and not that other techniques are less good, it's because this is the fastest. It's taken maybe a few hours to study, to practice it, but then you can, in 10 minutes, take any fear, any stress, any suffering you have, any suffering, and like a laser go in and go out of this trap. It's just the fastest and the most effective way I have ever learned. So it's really helpful if you want to get healthy. Okay, now
It's actually Byron Katie, I think. Her institute is here in my hometown.
yeah, so you know it?
Yes.
Have you practiced it?
I have not, no. But it's right here. It's Byron Katie.
Great. Yeah, so I really recommend it. And but in the end, in the discussion, maybe others can recommend of other techniques. And now, in order to experience the non-duality mind, like before we go into what healthy in each color, I invite you to do a 3-minute meditation. So what we are doing is coming from the new study about the heart brain. So for many years, we thought that our brain, the central nervous system, is only on the head. Today, we have about a fist-sized brain in the heart. You can see it here. We have another smaller brain in the guts. But the heart brain is really, really important in the process of relaxing and improving, increasing solution solving, which is exactly what Graves says, that the solving problem ability increase in every color, and when you come to yellow, you get much better solving skills. So it's called heart coherence, and it's 3 minutes meditation. But what you need to focus on and need scientific. Our heart is beating in a, if you ever listen to heart, it's like sound like boom, 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 boom. But if you focus only on the strongest pump hit, the boom, if the strength, the stronger fit, and the time this in between is pretty much coherent, then you are in a really good state without fear and can solve problem and can be, and this is my observation, you can be very quickly in a position of non-duality and go over this good and bad perspective. So if you focus on the boom, to be not to be boom, 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 instead of boom, boom, this is how coherence works, and this is not coherence. So you can sit in your chairs and close your eyes, sit comfortable. You may, you see me? I will stop sharing for a second. If you are, oh, why we see Daryl? You don't see me, don't know. Guys, do you see me?
We see you. You're good.
Yeah, you can touch your heart during the meditation or even do that and focus in it. And you can really focus what's going on between the head and the heart while listening to 3 minutes. So sit and let's start.
Welcome to this powerful and quick heart-brain coherence exercise. Just begin by closing your eyes and slowing the breath. Nice and slow. At the count of about 5 perhaps. And exhale and empty the lungs. And slow that breathing again to 5. And as you do this one more time, start to pay attention to the center of the chest. Rest your hands there. And you can either leave them there or you can drop them back on your lap. But this is just to bring focus to the center of the chest where the heart space is. And we're going to be breathing in and out of this heart space, filling it up from left to right, front to back, top to bottom. Still with this nice slow breathing, telling the body that it's safe. And now breathing in the emotion, the feeling of appreciation into the heart space. Remember that feeling. What does appreciation feel like? Allow it to fill up the chest, radiate outside the body, and radiate 3 feet outside, creating a bubble around you. And breathe in again, appreciation into the heart and out of the heart. And now breathe in gratitude into the heart space, out of the heart space. Find and tune into that frequency of appreciation. Allow it to permeate and expand within. Tune into that feeling of gratitude. Just remember the frequency. And then whenever you're ready, you can either stay here in this space and continue this exercise, or you can open your eyes and bring yourself back into this space.
You can keep this state slowly come back, but try to keep the emotion. Now, what we are going to listen now is for the 6 vimims of spiral dynamic. Each one is not out of you, it's in you. and it's reminding you his healthy abilities.
Beige, the essence of natural harmony. I am the healthy beige within you. I am the primal instinct, the untainted connection to the earth. When you embrace me, you feel the world directly, guided by your senses and instincts. Without the clutter of trauma or fear, you live in the moment, adapting seamlessly to your surroundings. I provide you with everything you need: joy in the touch of the wind, pleasure in the taste of food, and connection with the soil beneath your feet. Your body, in tune with me, knows when to eat, sleep, heal, and engage in life. You sense changes in the weather, detect dangers through the earth's vibrations, and recognize the healing properties of plants. With me, your brain learns and remembers solutions effortlessly. Embrace me, and you will live without fear, in harmony with the world, as a complete and healthy human.
Purple.
Purple, the harmony of connection. I am the healthy purple within you. I am the force of connection and community, the ancient wisdom of relationships. When you embrace me, you experience deep bonds with everyone and everything around you. I bring you the love, security, and support you crave. I allow you to understand those around you intimately, finding joy in meeting their needs. In me, you discover the magic of harmonious connections and endless wisdom. You might think I am a remnant of ancient mysticism, but I am the true essence of your connection to nature and others. Living in harmony with me, you blend and flow with the beauty of the world, respecting its forces and nurturing its secrets. We don't try to change anything but live simply and happily, helping each other and receiving everything we need. Embrace me, and you will remember the balance and harmony that make you truly human.
Red, the power of leadership. I am the healthy red within you. I am the driving force of courage and leadership, the embodiment of your untapped potential. When you embrace me, you unleash your inner hero, ready to face any challenge. I empower you to build yourself through effort and talent, to lead, protect, and exemplify human greatness. I free you from old constraints, guiding you to earn respect through hard work and responsibility. With me, you know what is right without external laws or gods. I am your inner compass, leading you to act with honor and independence. Embrace me, and you will live boldly, ready to right injustices and drive revolutionary change.
Don Beck, want to say something about it?
There are both positive and negative expressions to all the memes, including red. In red, we see high crime rates. We see all kinds of rage and rebellion, but we may also see wonderful spurts of creativity, heroic acts, and the ability to break from tradition and chart a whole new pathway.
Try to keep in the open state of non-duality, of acceptance. The three first meme was the ones that were more connected to nature, to our inner nature, outer nature, and from blue we are connected to our beautiful mind.
Blue, the order of purpose. I am the healthy blue within you. I am your sense of order and purpose, the foundation of stability and morality. When you embrace me, you find clarity in absolute principles and higher truths. I guide you to live a life of dedication and sacrifice for the greater good. Through me, you enforce a code of conduct based on eternal truths, bringing stability and promising future rewards. I help you build character and moral fiber, creating a just and orderly world. I enable you to overcome the baser instincts, fostering a higher moral purpose. Embrace me, and you will lead a disciplined life, ensuring everyone knows their place, and follows the path to a stable, just society.
Orange, the drive for achievement. I am the healthy orange within you. I am the spark of ambition and innovation, the relentless pursuit of success. When you embrace me, you play the game of life to succeed, seeking change and advancement. I drive you to find the best solutions, leveraging resources for a prosperous life. My optimism and risk-taking push you towards self-reliance and achievement. Through me, you contribute to societal progress, thriving on competition and innovation. Embrace me, and you will continually learn and adapt, achieving your goals and driving humanity forward.
Green, the spirit of community. I am the healthy green within you. I am the heart of compassion and equality, the spirit of community and connection. When you embrace me, you seek peace within yourself and foster caring relationships. I free you from greed, dogma, and division, guiding you towards a life of sensitivity and inclusivity. Through me, you aim to distribute resources fairly, making decisions through consensus and reconciliation. I bring you a refreshed spirituality, promoting harmony and enriching human development. Embrace me and you will live a balanced, compassionate life, nurturing deep connections and creating a peaceful, inclusive society.
All memes in their deep essence carry healthy benefit. What happens if you are embracing them all together, using them all together? For example, to solve and cope with challenges, which wisdom each meme give to us if it stays in its healthy essence. So when challenge come, we can sense them from beige. We can learn intimately the challenge. What most of us don't do, we are jumping to conclusion instead of being one with a challenge to learn it. Then we build power to overcome the challenge. We are not afraid to change. But if this power go too away, we limit and direct the power, create order by purpose and meaning. But it's all the time evolving the challenge. So we need to manage, to optimize the solution, maybe to improve and to distribute the coupon, to distribute it with others so they not fall into these mistakes that other people did. But if we are getting too attached to this solution, we can criticize the side effects the solution make and dealing with those challenges. For example, if you want to create a project, we have a creative impulse without a shape inside us. We just want to create, and then we dream it. We dream it in ourselves coming to life, but it's not enough. We need to work hard in the real world to overcome all the hardship in building it. But after we start it, we need to be more professionalized, to work in order with others, to make it to make everyone work together for one goal. And it's not enough. We need to innovate, to improve and market it or distribute it, because this project is not for us always. And when we are in a good place, we can share the success or the knowledge with others. We become social responsibility. In the both examples, if we are just taking one part out, it's probably this project or this solution would be unhealthy. We can look at also from up to down. If we start from green, we feel pain, we feel some problem in the society around us. And orange way of thinking make us found solution to planet. and then with Blue, we gather manpower, resources, permit to do it. Then we actually start to work. It's the same, it's hard work. But we need to create a sustainable workplace for everybody as it works. And we need the people that we are supporting to be part of the brand, to be part of the family. And in the same time, we shouldn't lose ourselves. We should yet receive self-satisfaction or fulfillment. If not, probably we will not act healthy. So all the color work together. For example, we can see it in raising a child. We need the beige, physical connection, unconditional love. We need to protect. We need to educate him right from wrong. Of course, we can argue about it from spiral dynamic. Maybe we shouldn't, but we should at least educate him for some kind of order. But we need to teach him or to support him, believe in himself, to create no sins. And in the end, we have to free him. If we have only one, if one color is missing, we probably won't be a healthy parent. So if we are looking at healthy system or healthy processes, in most cases, there are expressed the qualities of all colors. Or if we are using all the colors, all the abilities in flexibility way, with no fixed attachment to one over another, while using maximum systemic thinking, it usually will express itself healthy. I'm summarizing all this part.
Healthy is smooth adapting to change. Healthy is a fit between life conditions and mind capacities. Healthy is not fixed good or bad. All memes express healthy and unhealthy. Acceptance of diversities. Systemic thinking. Flexibility. Focus on functionality. Problem solving and creativity.
The four last one, we didn't have time, but those are also important basic to spiral dynamic in order to create healthy perspective and healthy action. We are not usually speaking about it. It's about each one uniqueness. It's good that we have different perspective, and sometimes we argue because each one of us has different life, different perspective, different ability. And when we are engaging in spiral dynamic, each one of us attractive to different part of it, and it's perfectly fine. And if we engage with spiral dynamic with what that it attract us, we can shine new light or express it in new ways that only you can express it. Even Don Beck couldn't express it in your way. So there is so much to do in the world that each one can take. Maybe it's how to manage your business. Maybe it's how to deal with education. Maybe it's in politics. Maybe it's in creativity work. And 100 examples that each one. I am personally very attractive to system management, and I build a lot in my life. I create a lot of projects that I need to build system to create them, and Spiral Dynamic helped me a lot, especially when I found how to work with different worldviews in the system. And I still learning. I have a lot of work, but this is where I put my energy in. And for somebody else, it could be other. But I believe that spiral dynamic is only a seed that each one can take and grow if you mix it with others aspect of life. Before we are going to the last chapter about healthy action, I want to apologize for some English error. I never been so good in blue, so especially when English is far from my familiar language. Okay, so healthy action. After we learned how to develop healthy perspective, what can we do with that? How can you express it? So I'm gonna give one example, the more classic spiral dynamic from a company called Value Match, which is an organization advisory company and a school, which I very recommend to learn in. And other are some ways of using healthy that are less familiar to spiral and dynamic community. So Value Match developed in a collaboration with Don Bach and other experts, a way to do maps to measure the values that motivate people in groups. And this is just part of their map, and there are different ways to do spiral dynamic maps. But for our discussion today, I want to present this one because the main map, which you see is measuring values like purple, red, etc., is showing us acceptance value and rejection value. And it's something that worth remember that when societies develop their worldview, they're not developing it only by the values they adapt, but also they attach to themselves rejection to others. And it's easy to see in today's politics that the rejection is more dominant than the acceptance. So when you understand this, sometimes healthy adapting will be just to narrow the rejections. Another important things we can see in the map is under pressure. We can see that society change their value and their behavior under pressure. So sometimes you might find healthy behavior under pressure, or you might find unhealthy under pressure, and it's changed the way you react. Also, there is aspiration. What this society, how this would this society behave and think if there are no problems in the world, if it was ideal world from their view. It's important to give the credit to Value Match, and that what we are doing here is not teaching how to use it. You have to go and study there. This is just a glimpse to understand our process of organization advisory work and how it's connected to healthy action. So after the measure, the values, this is a graphic that it's from Value Match design, but many others using it in spiral dynamic. And its basic terms from the theory: alpha is a state of stability, a state where our values coping with life conditions. When something is changed, tension start to build. So when going down tension, and we go from alpha to beta, which there is tension, and our worldview don't cope with life condition. If the society don't know how to change, it's become more and more tense and more extreme. It's go to gamma, where we might see big conflict, war, and sometimes society collapse. Sometimes society gets stuck in gamma, trapped in it, so we call it gamma trap. But when the lines start to go up, it means that the society start to find new ideas, to develop new values, and to adapt to the new life condition. So we have if we go from gamma to delta and we keep moving, we will go to a new alpha. So you might say that alpha is a healthy stage. But what organization advisors try to do in organization is try to save going down to gamma and go up. When you start to sense that your organization doesn't cope anymore, you can create flex movement with it's similar to what I mentioned before about smoothing the transition, smoothing the adaptation. So one way of looking about healthy, that healthy is a flex. How do you do it? How organization advisor you do it? We won't go on it today, but one way is to look at the six conditions for change. There are 6 conditions for change from the book Spiral Dynamics, the original one, and they are added later by Don Beck, another 3. And you might measure them, you might work with them, but we won't go into it now. I just want you to get the feeling how professionals work with spiral dynamics. Now we'll continue to another example, maybe less familiar, but before that, let's hear some more from the book Spiral Dynamics and from Don Beck.
Often memes become malignant, lacking the internal regulation system to tell them when to stop growing. Others become closed, locked in, and repressive, imposing a guardian mentality.
And another one from Don Beck.
Healthy expression of each value system refers to a balanced and functional manifestation of its characteristics. This means that the value system is not taken to an extreme or used in a way that is detrimental to individuals, organizations, or society as a whole.
Okay, so we get some more information how society become closed and less adapted to change. They can overgrow, which means express only their values, and when life conditions change, they're unable to find other solution, or they can locked in. You can think of a religion that that fight with modernity. To summarize it, healthy expression referred to balanced living, overgrowing or locked in are unhealthy. So the question is how to react when society resistant to change, when resisting to change is happening in systems that are closed, overgrowing, or locked in. And we'll make it bigger. So this is a cycle which is basically the basic cycle of spiral dynamic. Maybe not the correct word. It's how it's easy to me to present it. It's similar to this process that we see, move from alpha to alpha, but in a cycle. So we have stability, life condition change, society find new solution, new values, that helps them to adapt and to create a new system, and they are back in alpha, in stability. But if we go in, you know, like holons of Ken Wilber, you can go in and out. And so we go into an inner fractal of the process of creating solutions and values. What will we see? So this is a big cycle. Life condition change, and we go to the stage of new solution. Usually, society resists to change. There's a lot of fear to change, and that pushes some of the society, maybe some individuals, to come with new ideas for change. And only the dialogue about the new idea can create big conflict in society, sometimes even create trauma. But if they decided to explore those ideas, and finally they have to, they're trying to find new solution. This is the next stage. And not all of them are successful. Some solutions are failed. And if you try and work hard on a new solution, it fails, it can create another trauma and rejection to certain solution or certain values. Some might be half accepted, half not accepted, or like some not accepted by society. Even so, they are successful, and some solutions work and accepted by society. When it happens, not many, some and when it happened, usually the leader or other figures in society want to keep the solution alive. It's too difficult to remember all the process of the solution, so they are consolidating or like packaging or zipping, like you zip a software on a computer into values. So the solutions, instead of a complicated system of trials and errors and successful solution, become a accepted value or and rejected value, who altogether becomes a worldview of the society. And it usually takes time. Sometimes it takes generations, and the generation that consolidating the value, keeping them alive, never experience the trial of a solution, and they lock it in or grow in it, and then it becomes to be a worldview, a culture or a system with rules, sometimes religion, and this is a new vision. And it probably for a while create a new alpha, a new stability. So when something is changed and a society is inside the locked mentality, this is a arrow that say we are closing. The solution will be to reverse them back to the solution state. I want to give example from real life. I'm not a professional in America history, US history, but so maybe there are mistakes in the details, but the process is similar is close to reality. So if life condition in Europe in the 18th century under a kingdom and under wars between different countries, life become too hard. Some of the society are afraid to change and stays in the same life condition until it changes in Europe. Some of them decide to travel to America to use the opportunity. In America, they face a new life condition and they have to find new solution, which was easy because it was a new place. So they adapt to the solution like freedom. We have to take care of ourselves, or I don't know how to express this word in English, entrepreneurship, to be to create your own project and businesses, and you have to be brave to protect yourself. Nobody else will protect you, and you probably after the war with England, resisted to the English king, resisting to the monarch control who took your freedom. And if you are Christian, and in Europe you are under the control of the church, now in the United States you are accepting the church, but in more less formal ways. And all these solutions the society in the US find healthy, consolidating into US Constitution. And many generations passed, and it's become worldview, cultural identity. And if you look today on the US, you see a lot of conflict, maybe not all of them, but a lot of conflict. The two conflicting sides are argument about what's the solution here is right, but they don't remember all the process of how they come to those solutions. And each one interprets them differently. His life, his worldview, his values are conflicting others because they locked into the values. So this is back to the main chart. So if we are reversing the worldview, the closed value into the time they package them, and then to the solution as a thinking process, as an experience in different dialogues. And there we can find that not all the solution was successful, not all the failure that back then didn't work will not work today. And we get more flexibility. The mind is open to more way of solutions. So I call this technique as a reverse process. And let's summarize it. 1. Reverse the process of consolidation from values back to the solution level. 2. On the solution level, it's easier to find flexibility, openness to change. 3. From solution level, use creativity and system thinking for new bridges, new accepted solutions. Yes, and Don Beck did something similar, so he didn't describe his process as I do. When he working in South Africa, he had some resistance especially from the green part of the government that wanted to push very fast, maybe too fast, toward equality. And let's hear what he said about it.
So rather than attack the Afrikaner Volk and their rather rigid exclusive belief system around race, I simply challenge them to develop technology and agriculture in Africa as their highest calling. Yes, he shifts the focus to the solution levels, and this created to smooth, as I like to say, as a process of adapting. Next solution, and we hear some of Graves' beautiful quotes.
Human existence can be likened to a symphony with 6 themes. In a symphony, the composer normally begins by stating his themes in the simplest possible manner. In human existence, our species begins by stating in the simplest way those themes which will preoccupy us through thousands of variations.
Yes. So first of all, he's speaking about a symphony. It's also remind me the example we give about using all the 6 colors for different process. But also we speak about going back to the simple, because when you go to the simple, to the essence, then you can express it in 1,000 different ways.
Human existence.
I want to give credit for this work to Shai Tubali. And Shai Tubali is doctor of philosophy. He's living in Europe. You can read about him on the internet. Until 10 years ago, he was in Israel. and I was in some kind of a friendship relationship with him. And he met Don Bach, and he learned very seriously spiral dynamic. And he used to guide and work with a lot of groups. And he found that in each group, he can find a very healthy essence behind all the unhealthy layers of values. And what I describe here, it's not his word, it's the way I explain it, because he never published about it anything. It's all from my memory. Harmony work. 1. Each culture and subculture has developed healthy abilities, healthy unique gifts to give to the world. 2. When a culture expresses gifts, when others wants to get it from them, the culture become proud, healthy, and loses interest in fighting or closing in. 3. Traumas and unhealthy expressions are a result of a culture that doesn't get a chance to express her uniqueness when her voice shut down. 4. Many cultures doesn't remember their healthy uniqueness. By listening to them, by asking and assisting them to find and share their unique abilities, their proudness and healthy expression increasing. The violent decrees. Yes, don't confuse it with green. We are all living in love and peace. It's hard work to find the essence or the simplest way, like Graves say. But and the first part of this presentation, we spoke how much it's hard for us to see health in others. But what Shai Tubali add to it is when they don't express their own abilities, their own uniqueness, this is one of the things that close society and create unhealthy expression. I want to remind us that we as a culture, we are part of the people that create, talk, express, spread new memes into the system. And when you understand what is healthy and not healthy, you can choose which memes to share or to create new ones, and what to stop amplifying. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. And let's go change the world.